about visions, go to page 31. Creating the right vision. So we talked about mission, what that looks like, core values, purpose, calls, passion, what your niche is. Now we're going to get into more of the vision side of it, like actually putting a plan in place. So in order to have the right vision, we have to first observe. We have to look at the things around you and find out what needs to get better and ask questions, discuss, and gather information. So that's the first thing we need to do. We need to go through somewhat of a discovery session here. Should have been moving my slides here. Second thing is we need to reflect. We need to tap into your past experience, your stories, to help people make a personal connection with your vision. Number 3, or C in your books, you have to write it. You have to get the vision out of your head. It's important. Part of this whole process is to write down your vision. And then last but not least is you have to speak it. You must communicate that vision to people. I was in a session like one of these one time, and this guy was at our boot camp. It's his second or third time, and that guy's not here today. Well, I won't be picking on him. But I asked him, I said, you were here 90 days ago. And we'll use Kevin as an example because Kevin's been here before. I said, Kevin, what'd you do with your vision plan? You wrote it down the last time. What'd you do with it? And the guy in the room, he's the guy at the time, he says, well, it's still in my briefcase. I wrote it down. It's right here. And he was all excited. He pulled it out, and he's like, I got it, man. I said, well, what have you done with it since you created it the last time you were here? He says, nothing. It's been in my book bag. And I go, then your vision died the day you created it. It's not enough to create it. It's not enough to think about it. It's not enough to put it down on paper. If you don't share it with other people, it doesn't exist. It's not going to live. The only thing that keeps a vision plan alive is accountability. You have to put it out there for people to hold it accountable. You should want people to walk up to you and ask you, Ryan, where your goals are, where you're at with them. You know, I've been trying to lose weight for like the last 90 days. Seriously, working hard at it. And it's been a lot harder. It's a lot harder at 42 than it was at 25. Let me tell you, Jonathan, the last time I lost weight was a lot easier than this time.
It's a lot harder from 25 to 18.
Is it? I don't remember those days.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm telling you, it's harder. Now, I tell people that I'm doing it, and people come up to me, and they help hold me accountable. You know, I wanted some fries the other day, and my son's like, no. Like, leave my fries alone. I have an 18-year-old body. I can still eat these. You can't. Right? That's what he said. And I'm like, I want just a fry. And he's like, no. He's helping hold me accountable. Right? Same thing with your vision. You put your vision out there, you start to fall off the wagon, you're not doing it, people might call you out on it. That's a good thing. It helps keep the vision alive. So first and foremost is we have to have an understanding of the past. We have to observe. We have to have an understanding of the future, or we have to reflect and observe. And then we have to write it down. We have to get it out of our head. How many of you guys have gone to a corn maze? You guys been to corn mazes? Texas don't have corn mazes?
Define corn.
Define.
That's amazing.
So in this area, they'll have cornfields. They'll detassel the corn, take the corn ears off, and then it's left with the stalks. They will then take, instead of just tearing it all down, they'll turn it into a fun playground. They create mazes in them. Designs, if you will. And they'll get pretty elaborate with them around here. And they charge people to come all summer long to walk through these corn mazes.
Do people do this?
They do it. Ryan, I am feeling very led to take you to a corn maze today. But then again, I don't like to walk.
I don't know if that aligns with my mission or my purpose.
It definitely doesn't align with mine. Anybody says, hey, you want to go on a leisurely walk? Nothing about walking sounds leisurely to me, right?
Earlier, you're talking about losing weight like 5 milliseconds after looking at me, or while you were looking at me.
Dude, that's hilarious. Because
Question. Oh, by the way, I was trying to lose weight.
that's funny because I wasn't even looking at you. Okay, I'm sorry. As I ate crackers earlier. As I ate crackers earlier too. That's funny. No, but seriously, corn mazes, you know, when we actually will go to these corn mazes just to watch people sometimes. You know, because I'm sick like that. And I like to look around and watch these people get frustrated. And with Alfel, every year at one of these mazes, at this time of year, they're very popular and it's hot. You know, last week, it's not hot this week, but guys, last week, right? 115 degrees with a heat index, right? All 100% humidity. It was hot here. I mean, we picked the right week. You're welcome, right? Because if I would have picked last week, man, it was scorching. We got off the plane, and I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I got off the plane here, and it was hotter here than it was in Phoenix, and it was 115 there and 115 here. It was 100% humidity though, and I couldn't breathe. You put a fat guy like me in that kind of weather, and I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack, you know, and it's not good. But we'll go to these corn mazes, and with Alfel every year, young mom will get out. She'll put her kids in the stroller, right? And she'll start to push the kids throughout there's a little Johnny and Mary, and she's in the stroller. And they'll get 10 to 15 minutes into this maze, and they're getting done. More and more frustrated. The Johnny's throwing corn at people, and everybody's getting mad at him. And Mary's throwing her sippy cup 2 or 3 times, and there's mud on the top, and now she can't drink her water or sippy cup. And mom's like, it's fine, you know, we're going to get out. And they turn down one too many dead ends, right? And guess what? They get so frustrated after a while, you see it building up in them. And they're just about done. When my wife will walk up and be like, hey, if you want out, there's a guy right there in the tower. If you tell him how you want out, he'll tell you, get out. Turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn. Or sometimes you get a little sheet of paper, tells you how to go through the corn. Susan will hand that to him, and hey, there's exits here, here, and here, and here. You can get out. Guys, if that doesn't happen, you know what happens? You'll see the lady take one of those strollers and just barrel right through the corn walls. I mean, I am not kidding you. It's just like, I'm coming out. I know it's in that direction over there. And they just start heading right through the walls. And you see it. They're like, the corn's laid over, and there's just like a straight line right out of the corn. But, you know, if you save them in time, you get them out ahead of time, they'll get to that corn wall, they'll look up, and they'll be like, it's over. And they know the van's 15 feet away, and the movie's going to be playing here in a minute, and the sippy cup's going to be clean, and Johnny's going home to take a nap, you know, and the air conditioning is going to be turned on, and it's over. And you hear them every time. I don't know why, but they say this every time. That was fun, wasn't it? Can't wait to do that again next year. I'm like, you're crazy bringing your kids out here. But they do it every year, and they put the kids in, and they get in the van, and they're excited about it. And you know what, guys? That's exactly what we do to our employees. We create these companies, these mazes, and we hire people and we throw them in the maze and go figure it out. We don't give them a vision. We don't give them a plan. We don't tell them the process to get through it. And then we want to know why they're creating holes in our corn walls. And I have calls all the time. People call me and they go, so-and-so left my business, man, and she left it a wreck. I mean, she just walled it right out of here. And I go, she's like, she was a bad employee. And I go, no, you're a bad leader. You didn't teach them anything. You threw people into this maze and expected them to figure it out. Like, that's not their fault. That's our fault. As leaders, we got to show the way. Go the way. As John Maxwell say, know the way, show the way, and then go the way. That's our job. It's our job to lead. It's our job to have a vision. It's our job to paint the picture for them to know which direction to go. And when they get frustrated, to say, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, you're out. That's our job. Far too often, we have employees come into our businesses and we throw them out there at it and they fail, and we think it's their fault, and it's not, it's ours. Having a vision plan helps us lead people. Helps the people in our businesses know where we're going and how to get there. And it starts with that BHAG goal. It starts with a 5-year to 30-year goal. This 5 to 30-year goal, as Jim Collins calls it, your BHAG, needs to be the definition or the support to your purpose, cause, passion. Okay? So I said, good success, we had BHAG was, our purpose, cause, passion was to do good work, support God's work. And in order to do that, our BHAG goal was a certain amount of money we wanted to give to the Lord's work. Okay, at that time. Same thing with yours. Your purpose, cause, passion, you have to give it some type of definition. You have to give it some type of measurement, if you will, of knowing you achieved it. You have to know when your 100% is. This 5 to 30-year goal, first you have to start with the date. When is it going to be? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? 15? 25? 30? What is it? And only you can answer that. How long do you want to go leading this company till you hit your 100%? And you know, there are times in a business that a guy says, you know what, I want to get this company to a $10 million company and then I'm done. And that's okay, because sometimes they'll step out of the way and they hire another CEO to come in to take it to 50 million. But the BHAG goal right now, with their purpose, their calls, is here. Doesn't mean the business shuts down, they just may step out of the way. Business might grow past them at that point. The vision might be bigger and it might need somebody else to have that vision. And there's not a problem with that. It happens all the time. Businesses all the time get created, started, and then the founder steps out and lets a CEO run it to take it to another level. But you have to make that decision. This is not a decision anybody can make but you. So first is the decision you're making is what time frame are we putting on this? We're putting a 5-year? Now, if you're in real estate, I'm not sure how far out I'd go if it's just 100% real estate. You know, things change way too fast in real estate. So probably, if I was coaching one-on-one right now, I'd tell you probably stick around a 5 to 10 year goal. Okay, so take a minute, write that down. It's a 5, is it 10? It's right there underneath what the sentence that says date. Once you have the date in mind, then you need to come up with a measurement that supports your purpose, calls, or your passion. So, for example, that customer of mine, they wanted to impact people's lives or in their community. Their BHAG goal was to impact 40,000 people's lives in 10 years. What's that worked out to be? 40,000 divided by 3. $13,330. So 13,300 and some houses that they wanted to do. The purpose, cause, passion was impact people's lives. So how they impact 3 people's lives per house. So they wanted to impact 40,000 people's lives. And they thought they could do about 13 houses in that time frame, or 13,000 houses in that time frame. So that's what it became, 40,000. So you got to figure out what your purpose, cause, passion, and then what's the definitions for supporting that. Go ahead, Josh.
Where are we putting that BHAG goal? Is it on the goal line or the one sentence up before your mission?
It could go either. It's you know, your one sentence here is carried over from your purpose, cause, passion, and then the goal to support that purpose, cause, passion. Don, what's your guys' purpose, cause, passion?
Help people realize there's a different way to think.
Okay.
And we help people with real estate problems. You know, our big thing is, our passion is to help people realize that they don't have to, there's more they can do than just work 40 hours a week.
Okay.
So
how are you going to do it? What vehicle are you going to use to help people change their mindset? Okay. And so there's a measurement to that. So the measurement to reaching 100% in that category would be how many people you're going to help. So first is time frame, 5 years, 10 years, and then how many people can you help in that time frame? So your BHAG goal is usually the big statement goal that people have up on their walls that says, like, you know, Pepsi's is like put a Coke within the reach of every human being in the country or in the world. Was that Coke's? whatever, one of those Pepsi Coke companies. But that was their goal. Their goal was to put a Coke within the reach of every human being. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that was their goal, right? McDonald's was what for the longest time? Anybody remember McDonald's as BHAG? Huh? Sold or served?
Served.
Yeah, something. Yeah, but you're on the right path. That's exactly what it was. Now they've well eclipsed that already, right? But that was their BHAG goal for a big long period of time. You know, Rotary International, when I was working with them and consulting them out of Evanston up here, was to eradicate polio. That was their BHAG goal by a certain year. It was a 10-year goal to eradicate polio. And that was everything about their company was pushed towards that for the 10 years. Right? But the purpose, cause, passion was something bigger than that. It was basically about like helping the afflicted or something with incurable diseases. And so the thing they focused on for the next 10 years was eradicating polio. See how these two tie together? One is the philosophy or the idea. The other one is the actual action item of making it a realistic thing. It's making it smart. Specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, tangible. So that's what we're trying to do is put some validity to that purpose. Because without it, it's like, you know, goal without a deadline or measurement. It's just a dream, right? So we don't want to dream here. We want to actually accomplish.